Hey loves, I'm Sarah, I'm 20, I'm a queer fangirl who spends too much time on the internet.
I'm Robert, I'm not quite 50, and I don't spend as much time on the internet, but I have seen way too many movies and TV shows. And this is 50v20.
The podcast where we take a look at queer representation in media.
One ship at a time.
Hey everybody!
So, hello, we're talking about Heartstopper Season 2 still.
Yeah.
We didn't get very far last time.
No! We're just chatting away, and it's great, and it's good, and you guys are gonna get so many episodes out of it. And with your little sound clips, it'll be like 4 hours long, so.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You're welcome.
It's fine. One show, one episode a week, I can do. My style of editing with more than that.
This is our life, guys. Who wants 50v20 t-shirts? We're gonna make some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I saying before I had to re-edit the opening?
That was a very gay way of saying
I'm
yeah.
so sorry.
You went, yeah.
We're gonna have shows.
Yes, queen.
You know, merch.
Okay.
Oh,
Focus.
We only talked about 2 of the episodes because, and I think this is a good reason, in case you haven't been paying too close of attention, but have been listening to the show, thank you for listening. And if you're new, you can go back and listen to them. They're still there. But we bumped up the Heartstopper episodes because Season 2 was coming. So by the time we even recorded those, that's why those episodes are significantly longer than some for earlier things, we'd already recorded 8 or 9 episodes before we even got to those.
Yeah.
And now we recorded even more after that.
Yeah.
So probably after these Heartstopper episodes, we'll get to, sometime there'll be a red, white, and royal blue bonus.
Okay. Wait.
What?
Who's excited for red, white, royal blue?
They can't respond.
They
can respond on the internet.
Tell me on Instagram. You guys don't understand. I am so excited. Okay.
Yeah, there will be a bonus episode of that as soon as we get a chance to watch it.
In case you really haven't been paying attention, that Red, White, and Royal Blue bonus episode came out this past week, as this was his 4th of 6 Heartstopper episodes is coming out. So if you haven't listened to it yet, get to it.
And the Heartstopper episodes will go for however long they go. And then we got Elliot.
Oh, yes.
Is the next ones to be edited. We've already had that conversation, but they're the next ones to edit. We've got
Quelliot, Dreary, Wolfstar. We're currently working on our Twillo episode.
Yeah, we're still watching for Twillo because we weren't as rushed as we were when we started.
Yeah.
So we've been taking our time a little more. Plus knowing we had these extra things coming out in August. But I mean, we were a lot wordier. Which is also why last week's episode is however long it ended up being, and we only covered 2 of the 8 episodes, is because there was a lot to say.
We just like to talk.
Yeah.
And you guys like to listen. So.
And I'd love it if I had an editor that wasn't me, because then I could talk even more. I
know. You go through it.
My editor brain is always telling me to shut up. I'm not going to swear because we're talking about Heartstopper.
You can't swear in the Heartstopper episode.
No, it seems
you can
wrong.
swear in the Quelliot episode.
Even though if there was ever a swear word that got through, did I mark it as an adult episode? No.
No.
Please don't report me.
Please don't tell your parents. Okay.
Because we had just started talking about the 3rd episode with the rugby kids. Quick recap in case it's been a week since you listened to the episode. Thank you for listening the day it came out. That's great.
Also, since the episode was plenty long enough already, I cut those 6 minutes off the end of it, so you didn't even hear them.
One of the kids, possibly named Christian, referred to Charlie and Nick as good mates, and the 2 other kids seemed like they suspected there was more to it than that, and gave him a look, which was funny.
They know what's what.
Then, is it Charlie goes to talk to the coach? Because this is when he says he's going to rejoin the team to help with Nick coming out? Or does Nick go talk to the coach? Who goes and talks to the coach? Because this is when we find out the coach... No, it's Charlie, because he's...
No one talks to the coach. It's because... Nick and Charlie...
Someone comes in and talks to the coach in her office.
Isn't that because Nick and Charlie were kissing?
Is that then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nick and Charlie are kissing in the whatever, supply room.
That's right, because
thingy.
Nick's putting away stuff.
Yeah. And then the coach catches them, and then we see Charlie speaking with the coach.
And because that's where she says that
and Nick.
There's a lot of...
We know.
That's why I think
she speaks to them separately, right?
I think she says this when Charlie says he's going to rejoin the team, because she's talking... She doesn't know Nick's gay. Well, she might.
Well, she does now. Bisexual.
Queer, whatever. Umbrella terms. For ease. No, I'm old.
For ease.
But this is where we find out that she says there's a lot of lesbians in rugby because she met her wife at uni.
Yeah.
I appointed you captain last year because you were the only one who can make these boys into a team. But this term, I've sensed some distance has grown between you and most of the lads. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I assume this has something to do with it.
I guess so.
If any of the lads say anything out of line, you tell me immediately, all right?
Yeah. Yeah, I will.
When I was at uni, things were pretty bad. That was in women's rugby. Lots of lesbians in women's rugby. That's how I met my wife. I remember what it was like, telling all my friends. Some took it better than others.
None of the guys know about me, so,
Well, you don't owe them that information, okay?
Thank you.
And so this is where it's established in the show that, yes, the coach also is gay.
Yeah.
She didn't just happen to know that there's a lot of gay athletes. She's also gay.
Right.
Increasingly, there's a lot of gay people in this show.
Oh, no, so she was talking to Nick, not Charlie. I think she was talking to Nick, right? I don't remember anymore.
I don't know. This is weird. I'll know when I edit this.
I think she was talking to Nick. I'm gonna bet my money that she was talking to Nick. Because she was, I remember she was saying, like, oh, have people been treating you differently? Because it feels like the team is disconnected, and Nick is the leader of the team.
Because right before it, the whole thing where the three guys approached him, he was off away from everyone else, like picking up supplies off the field.
Yeah.
As I guess he's like the team captain or whatever he is.
Yeah.
And so he was cleaning up stuff to put away. So yeah.
That was the most jumbled way of explaining what happened.
That's because I swear these are two different scenes, and I
might
be wrong.
If you can't tell, we watched the episode for the first time yesterday.
Yeah.
Don't remember.
I was like, yeah, we're going to record tomorrow. It's going to all be fresh in my brain.
Yeah, no, now it's just jumbled in my brain.
But it's an 8-episode block of things. If it's not in my notes explicitly, and all my note for that says is Coach met her wife in women's rugby at uni.
Wow, that's very helpful.
I had the transcript of the episode open when I was looking at it, but I don't have it open at the moment. Then we get the Tara and Darcy drama beginning.
Oh my god.
Because
that scene was like iconic.
I think it's because they're talking about the prom prep stuff, right? Because Darcy said she's going to be annoying.
Yeah.
Paris is basically like a 5-day long sleepover. You're going to be so annoyed with me after that.
Aww. But I love you because of how annoying you are.
I mean, I didn't mean that in an I love you way. That was just a casual I love you. That's not me asking you to say it back or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Sarah! I think probably be fed by a thing. It's fine.
No, that's the worst idea.
And then Tara says, but I love you because of how annoying you are. And then immediately corrects, I think in the moment, I'm like, you might have to correct a couple things there.
Yeah.
Because she might not have liked you calling her annoying yet.
Yeah.
I don't know how you are with that. But also you just said I love you, which is the thing she's like fixes.
Well, she calls her annoying.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I mean, that's fine. I call my friends annoying.
Right, that might be fine, as long as that's what they do.
Yeah, but she calls her annoying, says I love you, and then immediately is like, but it's a casual I love you.
Right?
Like, Darcy doesn't even have really a chance to respond. At all.
Right. Until Tara brings it up again, I'm completely on Darcy's side on this one.
Yeah, like...
Because you backtracked, you said it was casual. All Darcy's doing, potentially, is taking what you said.
Yeah.
At face value.
Yeah.
And you said, oh, that's just a casual.
You said it was casual, so she's being casual.
Yeah, that's not me asking you to say it back or anything. At the end of that.
Oh You're making fun of her.
Well, she backtracks so fast and then gets upset.
Yeah.
I'm like, you
Honestly,
didn't even mean it that way.
That's literally who I am as a person, though. Like, I loved it. It was so perfect.
It's like, I think even she blows it up in her own head as to what she meant when she said it.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was casual.
A lot. Tara had a gay panic for real, for real.
It was like, in that moment for her, she's like, oh shit, I just said I love you. But I do love you. but I can't say that now.
Yeah.
And she's got this whole thing going on, and then she tries to overcorrect.
She makes
and
it
doesn't go
worse.
well.
Yeah.
And then we get our next abrupt introduction of new character for the show, because I forget why everyone's in the library, but we see that Isaac has book friends, which is good.
Yeah.
James, isn't it your last exam today as well?
Yep. I should probably be doing some last-minute revision right now. But this is more fun. Oh, have you read this one?
Of course I've read that one. It's one I did.
In particular, was standing over near the Read with Pride table. I don't know if we hear James's name in this scene, but we do find out in the episode he's James.
Yeah.
Asks him if he read if he read this book yet, and he holds up the Bi book that's at the front of the table. The Ace one is already there up at the top. Mm-hmm. If he'd asked about that, we could have saved a lot of time, maybe.
I know, and it's right there.
Right.
Metaphor.
But putting the... yeah. I'd love to see the placement of how the books were.
Yeah.
Is this a setup? Yeah. And we get scenes that take place in front of signs like the... something cool... Oh, I looked it up. It was a French thing. Something about the heart. And it was when Nick and Charlie... It's a sign at the museum. Mm-hmm. At the Louvre.
Oh.
Later. But they're having a conversation in the background. It says something about the heart. Mm-hmm. Behind him. Like, yeah, you put that in front of that sign on purpose. I get
Heartstopper?
Wait. Yeah, the James introduction is earlier.
Yeah.
See, this is why it's even more awkward, because we're like, who is that? And then he's gone. But then he comes back later in the same episode.
Yeah.
And he asks Isaac to the party, because there's going to be the end of year party.
Hey, Isaac.
Oh, hi, James.
I was just thinking, did you want to come to that end of exams party tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool. And all your friends should come too, obviously.
Sweet. Thank you very much.
See you there. Bye, Isaac. Bye.
Oh my god.
Because they're, for all you British fans listening to the show, hi, or wait, how do they say hello?
Hello.
Perfect. They have their GCSEs coming, mm-hmm. and so they've been...
Those are like their final tests, kind of, right? It's kind of like
Are you asking, or are you trying to explain it to the British people? Because I think they know.
No, I'm asking.
Oh, yes.
It's like kind of like their equivalent of like the SATs.
I think it's actually not as specific as that, in that our SATs happen at the end of all of high school. Yeah. And I think they do GCSEs every year. So it's more like final exams. Or standardized tests. Or closer to like standardized tests kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Well, ours in the US is kind of like that, because you have your PSAT, and then you take your SAT, and then you can take the whatever the other one is. Your
ACT?
ACT, or you can retake the SAT. So it's kind of similar, but...
And college in British land is different than college here, and uni is... Well, uni's kind of the same.
I actually never took the SAT, fun fact. So, when people are like, what was your SAT score? Like...
Never came up.
I don't have one.
You don't even have to anymore, right? For college things? Or some schools probably still require it. Some ask, but don't require it.
So you, like, have to if you're going straight to university, but I went to community college first, so I didn't have to.
I don't know if I had to, but I did take it. And then, even though I got a high score, I took it again, hoping I could do higher. And
Oops. Did you do worse?
That would be the not higher
Or,
part,
well, I don't know, maybe you got the exact same score.
No, it was funny because my math score was really high. This was when I was at a 1600 overall, 800 for each. My math was 720 out of 800. Mm-hmm. Okay. But my English was like 5 something.
You're not good at English?
Not when it comes to like vocabulary. Not that I don't know words, but when you put two of them next to each other in an analogy thing,
yeah,
I'm like, I don't know what you're trying to go for.
I get that.
Because I could interpret these so many ways. And it's much subjective. But what happened is my English score stayed the same, but because I wasn't as intent on it, my math score went down.
Oh.
The second time.
Oopsie.
So I'm like, I'll just stick with the first one. It's fine.
You're like, whatever. It's all good.
But that was part of the thing we hadn't mentioned yet, is that now Nick is sitting next to Ben at the GCSE study sessions.
Oh, yes.
And that's also where we met Mr. Farouk.
Mr. Farouk, who leads
because he's leading those sessions and is very strict.
He's so funny. I love him.
They do a good job of that. And he's the strict one, but we're like, whatever.
He's so cute and nice. I don't know. I like him.
Yeah, so James asks Isaac to the party, and Tao, when is this? Oh.
This is when Tao
he tells them, right?
Yes.
At the store.
Yeah.
Where he's very excited. He needs to tell her, and he's going to. And then when he tells her, it's hilarious, because he's just like, I like you. Romantically.
So cute. Yeah, and this is where he gets a haircut. He Googles, like, what haircut looks best with my face, and does that. Like, not necessarily
he dresses
what he
up
would have done.
nice.
Yeah, he dresses up. He wears, like, sunglasses.
What the hell?
Hi. These are for you, for finishing your GCSEs.
What's happening right now?
Elle, I like you romantically. And I was wondering if you wanted to go on a date tonight.
You like me?
Yeah. I guess I was sort of hoping... I've been sort of wondering if you like me back.
Dash?
Tossy.
Well... yeah.
So, tonight, I thought maybe we could go to the cinema.
Okay.
He takes her to see her favorite movie, Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom.
Which he thinks is not Wes Anderson's best efforts.
Yeah. So they
and knows he
go to
doesn't
the
like
movie.
before they go to see it. So, like, he knows he's seeing a movie he doesn't like.
Yeah. Anyway, that moment is so funny. My favorite thing about that is that after the movie, he's outside complaining about it.
Right.
I think that's probably Wes Anderson's least technically good movie, from, like, a story perspective. I mean, it all hinges on the romance between the two kids, which is so unbelievable anyway, because they meet and fall in love immediately. And, like, they're kids, so obviously it's not going to last long term.
You really shouldn't have picked that movie.
It's not my fave, but you love it, so...
But if we're going on a date, we should do something we both enjoy. My mum should be here in like 5 minutes. Still want to go to this party?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for asking me out on a date.
Thanks for saying yes.
I'm like...
Like, you know it's her favorite. You're trying to connect to her.
And you're the one who just chose to see it.
Worst case, you ask her, okay, what is it that you like about that movie? You, like, make a conversation about what is the way you see it differently than I do.
Right. Not just go
Especially
off
because
about
he's the
it.
one who's really into film.
It makes it so
He's got all the
awkward.
posters on his wall.
It makes it so awkward. But it's one of those, like, I don't know if the character necessarily is neurodivergent, but it's one of those, like, neurodivergent things where you're just, like, can't stop yourself from being honest. And I do that sometimes, so I get it, but it was very awkward.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked up anything about the writer who did the books and is also working on the show. What their... I'll say their, because I don't know what their pronouns are. What their deal is, as far as autism or whatever, but I think Tao definitely feels like he's got some of that going on.
He's
Because,
giving
yeah,
ADHD
it's
a
like
little
he
bit.
wants something but doesn't know how to get it. So he's looking it up on the internet. He's asking his friends and then still fails at it because he's still his awkward self.
Yeah.
Which Elle has a great response to. She's like, we should do things that we both like.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, that's a good idea for a date.
Well, yeah, and also because Elle likes Tao, right?
Yeah.
Like, as Tao is. So if Tao is changing who Tao is, then Elle's not gonna like that.
Right.
Like, she likes you because of who you were already. Not the, like, fake version of yourself.
It's part of that thing of, like we said, even you don't out the assholes and stuff last episode. It's also his friends could have been like, no, she likes you.
Yeah.
But they don't tell him because I think on some level that feels inappropriate too.
Yeah.
Is that they can't be like, yeah, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
She likes you already.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know that, so he's trying to make a big gesture. And he says romantically, it's a romantic gesture. Take her to her favorite movie. And buy way too much popcorn and nachos.
Yeah, those snacks were huge. I'm wondering if that's from the comic.
Probably, yeah. It was just drawn that way with giant popcorns.
Yeah.
So they thought it'd be funny to put it that. But it is. It's fun.
It was cute.
And Moonrise Kingdom, his complaint about it is that it's all based around about this relationship between these two kids. But that's what Heartstopper is. That's what, from more my perspective than your perspective, that's what he and Elle are.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they don't know what they want in the moment, even if it isn't going to... Maybe they're not mature enough to know this is going to last until we're adults and it's going to be what we always want.
Yeah, but this is what I want right now. And
Moonrise Kingdom that's a great movie.
Yeah. So the date goes really badly, and then they go to the party, right?
Yep.
And Tao and Elle get in kind of an argument, which I thought was really...
Before we get to the party,
Isn't that?
because I said repeatedly that Tori is imaginary, Nick gets to see her. He interacts with her.
Nick does talk to Tori.
Yeah.
So...
And she later interacts wonderfully with David, so she's real.
Yes. Yeah. Tori is real. But yeah, Tao and Elle go to the party, and they get in a fight. I don't know exactly what prompts the fight, but...
Tao and Elle? I think it's about what you were just saying, is that he's trying to be someone else. She's like, I didn't like that.
I didn't know you invited them.
Yeah? They're my friends. What?
I don't understand what I did wrong tonight.
It's like you were trying to be a completely different person.
You're the one who's completely different. You've gone off with your new friends and have forgotten I exist completely.
You're the one who said we'd always put our friendship first. You promised.
Well, I guess romance does ruin friendship.
It's just this, like, built-up tension. But at the same time, like, even though Tao did that, and that was kind of not great, I think it was kind of, like, annoying of Elle to be like, you said that you'd always put our friendship first, but she was literally the one who was, like...
She's the one who's not.
She's the one who's, like, not addressing him, like, treating him like not her best friend. And also, this happens after the scene in the doorway, right? We kind of skipped the scene.
I think that's... Was that before their date?
Yeah.
Or is that next time? I have a note next time where I just wrote Tao/Elle, and I thought maybe it was there.
The scene in the doorway we're talking about actually happened in the middle of the previous episode. We just, I guess, skipped it. Oops.
Was your maths exam okay today?
Tao, you did not come here just to ask me about my maths exam.
No. Yeah, okay. I guess things have just been kind of weird lately. I mean, I've been a bit weird. So I thought I'd come over and see if you wanted to hang out this evening. But I guess you can't.
I'm going out tonight with Naomi and Felix. We're going to a club that does under 18 nights.
Club? Wow.
I know. I might hate it.
Maybe we could have that art day at the weekend or something.
I don't know. Tao, honestly, I'm kind of busy. Recently, with GCSEs and finishing my application piece for Lambert,
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry.
No, it's nothing to be sorry about.
I believe the scene in the doorway happens first.
Because the doorway also is one of the scenes in the show that I really wanted to mention.
Yeah.
But apparently I didn't put a good note for it. Because it's also framed very nicely. It's one example of really good direction this season. Because in that conversation, Elle is sitting facing forward and taking up most of the space. And Tao is like at the very edge of the step at an angle to be able to fit in the door frame.
Yeah.
And is like barely in the scene. They also do a great thing with them at the art thing later where they frame him next to the art project we just found out is about being asexual and aromantic with him in the background. It's like blurry in the foreground.
Yeah. It was filmed really well. But yeah, so the doorway scene, I remember because Tao was like, oh, do you want to hang out? And Elle's just like, I'm really busy. And Tao was like, oh, but like, maybe we could do art stuff this weekend. She's like, no, I'm really busy. But then later in their fight, she's like, you're not putting our friendship first. And I'm like, you won't even hang out with him for like an hour.
Right.
Which like, he's not entitled to her time, but like, you're not valuing the friendship either, to be fair.
No, at best it's her being, to take Elle's perspective is that she's sort of doing that self-defensive thing, is she's putting their friendship in front of anything else between them, because that's what she has to do now.
Yeah.
But she's not putting their friendship in front of other things anymore.
Yeah, she's not, like, prioritizing.
Because now she has new friends she's going out with that she posts stuff on Instagram about.
Yeah.
And she's going to go away to Lambert, which we don't know how far away it is, but far enough that everyone notices.
Yeah. But they are teenagers, though. So I will say, like, it's very teenager to get mad at somebody for doing the thing you're literally doing. Yeah. So it's accurate and it's fine. But it was interesting. And then Nick and Tori chat. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Tori's like, where's my brother? And Nick's like, oh, I lost him. And then Tori's like...
Charlie.
Hi.
Sorry,
Where's Charlie?
I lost him. Sorry.
You said you'd look after him. Not very good at keeping your promises, are you? You don't look well.
I'll find him. I promise.
What's the title of the episode? It Promise. It's just like, you promised to look after him or something. And
Nick's like, oh, oops.
Like, you misplaced him. There's a crowd.
He's like, there's a lot of people here. We find each other, and I don't remember how the episode ends.
Charlie tells Nick that maybe they don't try for him to come out yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because he says, I think there's this idea that when you're not straight, you have to tell all your friends and family immediately, like you owe it to them. But you don't.
I think there's this idea that when you're not straight, you have to tell all your friends and family immediately. Like you owe it to them. But you don't.
Yeah.
Maybe we should forget the coming out plan for a while.
Okay, wait. So I don't want to go on a huge tangent about this, but
why not?
I have something to say. As a queer person, as the resident queer of this podcast, something that I really liked that this season did was it kind of addresses how, like, even when you're out, you're kind of not out. And this is something that I'm struggling with even now. Because I'm out. Like, I'm literally on a podcast right now talking about how I'm out. My friends know I'm out. My close family. At the same time, though, if I was, like, around, like, a conservative family member, I wouldn't bring it up.
Right.
But it's at the same... It's like, is it a secret? No. But...
there's definitely some of my family that wouldn't know.
Right, and it's like, I don't feel the need to announce it to everybody, but then I struggle with, like, does that mean that I'm hiding it? Right. And so it's really interesting because as a queer person, you can come out to the people that you know, but you're always going to be meeting new people. So you always have to come out again. Mm-hmm. Like, every time you're at a new job, at a new school.
What's like Nick's thing, even just with his family? He came out to his mother at a point where she already knew he had this new friend, and there's been a lot going on there. And it's very sweet because she's very supportive.
Yeah.
And then his brother finds out for himself, basically, and challenges on him. So by the time he has to tell his father, it's like, fine, here's the thing. And he just has to go out and tell him. Yeah. And be very open and angry about it, almost, and confrontational. Because there's all these different angles of how you tell, who you tell, and if you need to.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I started, like, deep diving, thinking about this. But I think this is kind of why a lot of LGBT plus people, like, we, like, have, like, pins or, like, rainbow things or whatever. And people are like, oh, but why are you being so outward about it? But I think it's just, like, our way of being out without having to talk about it to every single person. You don't have to tell someone,
but if someone cares, they can see that pin.
It's like, yeah, you see my pin, you know, but we don't have to, like, have a whole shebang about it. But yeah, the show handles that really well, and it's very interesting.
It also, I think, starting with maybe already, but by this episode of Nick having a conversation with Tori, is this season does a lot of things of putting people in conversations with someone we haven't seen them talk to before, and pairing them up in different ways.
Yeah,
and it gives them a lot of different perspectives and conversations.
Like with Nick, it's so interesting because all of their friends know, and his mom knows, which is his closest family member as well. But he's still not, like, quote unquote, out.
Right.
So
because the rugby team doesn't know.
Yeah.
But even them, some of them kind of know.
Yeah.
They just don't know they know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's different levels of...
There's so many levels of coming out. And then it's like, when are you fully out?
Right. And then Charlie's thing here at the end of the episode is basically, well, maybe you don't need to deal with that. It's not for them.
Yeah. And and it's different because it's not like Nick is asking them to keep it a secret, you know? Like, with their friends, they can be together. When they're at their houses, they can be together. So Charlie's like, if you don't want to tell, like, this, like, group of people, like, that's totally fine because we're out enough
They'll
in
find
our
out
lives.
Eventually.
Yeah.
You'll be able to tell them eventually, but you don't need to rush it.
Yeah. And it, like, they are able to be out sometimes. Like, when it matters, you know? If your closest friends and family know who you are.
And when you're a teenager, they matter more than... Friends matter more than family.
Yeah.
Probably. Close family matters more than brother and father that are away.
Yeah. Also, like, throwback to the sleepover episode, but I thought it was really interesting how it was filmed that Nick was sitting with his arm around Charlie, but Charlie was, like, not initiating the touch. So it, like, showed that Charlie was being respectful, but that Nick was trying to, like, show Charlie that he was proud to be with him.
Into it.
Yeah.
Well, because there was a weird framing when they were in, I think it was in the locker room, when Charlie kisses Nick, and it almost felt like he was trying to get caught, because, like, they're next to a big open doorway.
Yeah.
And then someone almost catches him, but it's like, you need to be more careful. At that point, he's being careful.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, good episode.
And then with episode 4, the Paris trip starts.
Yeah.
And will last for a few episodes.
We're gonna have, like, 90 episodes.
Thank you for listening. 50v20 is a production of Lemming Drops Studio. You can find links to this show and more at lemmingdrops.com.
Subscribe to the show and review the show on your favorite podcatcher.
Join the Facebook group at Lemming Drops Studio Tour for updates.
Follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at 50v20podcast. And send us gifts.
And support the show at patreon.com/lemmingdrops.
Bye!
Recognize